Hi everyone, Josh Sachs here with another episode of Local Pros. We've finally reached episode 10. With me, I've got a couple of wonderful guests just waiting in the wings. First off, we have the gentleman who came in first place at the 2023 Riverside Rumble and took fifth place at the Northern Ontario Championships. With him, we have the person who placed first at the 2023 Diameter Open in Guelph and took third at Knock. We have Chris Towe and Alex Poletto.
Hello.
I'm going to have to bleep this. How are you doing, guys?
Doing great. Yeah, thanks for having us on, Josh.
Pleasure to have you guys. So I've seen you around for the last couple of years. Is that about as long as you guys have been in the sport?
Yeah, I think we started when I first picked up the disc around fall 2021.
Yeah, and you dragged me in Christmas time that year. I was resistant to start, but him and our friend Sergey kind of hopped on the bandwagon of disc golf.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where because of COVID, volleyball kind of got shut down for us because we're volleyball players, but we used to be. So we picked up a sport when nothing else was open and then fell in love.
And you guys both just jumped into the your respective pro divisions, I guess, kind of midway through last summer, or kind of beginning-ish of last season.
Mm-hmm. I think I stuck with FA1 until the end of the season, just to get some of the skills down that I wanted to figure out before moving up. And then Chris moved up at the beginning of last year. He wanted the extra challenge.
Yeah, our first season we played pretty much every tournament we could sign up for, and I played MA1 and had a string of 6 or 7 second places, and really was enjoying MA1, the competition there. But by the end, decided, okay, this past season, played MA1 a little bit at the start, and then decided to make the jump to pro. Just thought I'd like to see what the gap was between the top guys and where I was in MA1, and have stuck there since. So
you mentioned before that you guys were both volleyball players before you got into the sport. Was it beach, indoor, or a combination thereof?
Both, yeah. We both played university indoor volleyball. I went down to the States to play, and he played in Alberta and then at U of T. And then we both transitioned to beach volleyball after university. Well, I guess I did both. I did a little bit of university beach ball as well in my 5th year, but then we played professionally on the national team.
We've been playing beach as well since we were 16 years old. And then, we're on Team Canada for the last few years after indoor volleyball. So, yeah.
And then just disc golf. Everyone always asks, I was like, do you still play volleyball? Absolutely 0. Just disc golf.
So what you're saying is that the occasional game that I happen to play that are generally like charity tournaments, I can't just sneak you guys in?
Oh,
as ringers?
Well, we can be bought. No, we don't play at all because we have too many injuries that it's just not worth it. I would love to play for fun, but to get hurt playing for fun really would be tough. So we just don't risk it. I mean, Chris, he can explain his full curriculum of injuries that he has from head to toe.
Yeah, I've had a series of concussions. My shoulder labrum is pretty severely torn. So anything above this height is extremely painful. That's why you don't see me pulling out the thumber or the tomahawk ever. And then, I've had hip issues, back issues. So even for a fun charity game, I couldn't do it.
And the torn quad.
Yeah, and my quad.
And knee.
It's a rough sport on the body. Humans aren't meant to jump, 200 times a day. So
yeah.
I was not aware volleyball was that. I mean, I know it can get pretty serious when you get to the upper levels of the sport, but I did not realize someone could basically hurt everything from head to toe.
Mm-hmm. People don't realize. I hear that all the time. How did you get concussions playing volleyball, or how are you so injured? It's supposed to be non-contact. It's more gentle. It's because of the repetitive nature, and when you're at professional level, the amount of load you're taking is just, if you have any imbalance or weakness in your body, it will flare up.
And to the concussion point, you have some guys that are 6'8", jumping 40 inches, hitting the ball 120 kilometers an hour right off your face. Like you know, I've seen people completely go unconscious. I've heard of people losing sight in an eye. Like it's no joke. So yeah, not what people typically think when they think volleyball, but at the high level, it's a pretty serious game.
Like the only things that come to mind to me first off would be knees because of the jumping, obviously, and shoulders with spiking, blocking, all those kind of things. But I guess ball coming at your face that fast is probably going to hurt and leave some last time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why we're happy. Disc golf is a safe sport.
Fairly safe. I keep hearing stories of people getting hit in the head with a disc, and I'm a little terrified. That's like,
didn't that happened to Eagle McMahon, right?
So in fairness, he threw a crazy shot, and I don't think they properly warned the camera person,
right,
who was likely going to be in the area it was landing, that there was something coming.
That's horrible.
So I think with a little better communication, like, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I have heard of people getting hit very often from just like either a very good shot that went in the too far, or someone completely missing and like either grip locking or early releasing it into a group of people that you just can't move.
Especially if you have a tight course, right, where tee pads are kind of near fairways or baskets, it's going to happen at some point. But
yeah,
pretty rare.
As I said, I haven't heard of too many up here.
Yeah,
at least in the Ontario scene so far, but I guess we'll see. So I see you guys have been signed up for a number of tournaments this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any specific goals for the year, disc golf wise?
That's a good question. I mean, off the top of my head, I could think of some, but in terms of pre-planned goals for the season, personally, I don't have a lot. It's one of those things where we strive to be the best, or at least I do at disc golf, but at the same time, we work full-time job, and this is something that's we do on the side as a hobby. We take it seriously, but I almost don't want to take it too seriously, because then you see the people getting burnt out or getting in their own heads about it. But if I were to pick a goal for myself, I'd like to get above the 975 rated threshold and cash in 75% of the tournaments I play in MPO, and I think that's a reasonable goal. And if I could accomplish that this year, I'd be pretty excited about that. So,
yeah, I mean, kind of similar. We don't, because we're not practicing every single day, or it's not like how it was with our other professional sport. I don't have like concrete goals that I'm, I guess, checking off and things like that. But my biggest focus for the year would be, I think, maintaining my concentration and focus during rounds, especially practice rounds, because I tend to lose focus halfway through. So more of a process goal rather than a results goal. And then results wise, I hope to be in the lead card for all tournaments I play. I mean, other than the first round, if you're not on the lead card, but that's the goal.
Because I guess the FPO division, there's always like 2 cards, right? So
usually 2. We're getting to the point of 3 this year.
It's exciting. It's growing. Good. It's growing. Yeah.
But yeah, lead card would be amazing.
Yeah, you're very much on the wave of growth. Like you're generally pushing like the 2 cards to be a third card and everything else. At least from what I've seen.
For sure.
As you're coming in, I haven't double checked today, but I know that the Project 15 Open went up last night. Pretty sure they filled up 2 cards like nothing, and there might be the availability for a third card if they get the signups.
Yeah, it's looking good.
There yet?
Looking good. I'm excited. Like I know a lot of girls went up to FPO last year, that I was playing with in FA1 my first year. And then this year, myself and Rebecca Dawn both moved up to FPO. So now we have a pretty solid group. And we have some other people coming in from Quebec, it looks like, more often. Karen is coming to some of the tournaments. And then Irina up north. Hopefully she makes it down some more. So if we get everyone out, we have a really strong FPO group.
Yeah, I hope so. It's tough in Ontario because as much as like they talk about people in the States are traveling across the country, like Ontario is a big enough province that
yeah,
for sure.
Like, even the people that are out in London or in that area, it's like a 6-hour drive to get out over here and to some of our events. So it can be tough when there's no, like, especially P15. There's nothing that close to stay in. It's out of the way for a good reason.
I guess Peterborough is the closest, right?
Yeah, that's still
out of the way for most
5 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're working on in your game this off season in terms of form improvements?
Putting, always putting. I swear I change my form every week with my putts, but East End Putting League, really good for helping with that. And forehand, I really want to solidify my forehand into something it doesn't have to be amazing, but I want it consistent enough that I can rely upon it for that 250-foot shot. Right now, it's either great or it's sky high in the air. So I'm kind of wheeling it in. And this last week at GTA Cup, it was feeling really solid. So I'm happy about that. But I think having that this year for our season will be a pretty powerful tool to have.
Yeah, and for me, same two skill categories, forehand and putting. Forehand, so my first season, I couldn't even throw like a approach disc 50 feet with a forehand. I didn't understand it, didn't get it. It would come out all wobbly or whatever. And then I finally were able to get that going. And then this past year, near the end, I guess the second half, something clicked in my head with more of a power forehand. But when I really try to throw it hard, it does hurt the shoulder. So I've been really working on a smooth power forehand. And every month that goes by, it becomes more and more effective and more easy, and to get that extra, 15, 20 feet. So my results last year started, increasing as the forehand became more comfortable. Because it just makes so many shots on the course in these tournaments easier. And then putting as well. Again, same thing, around halfway, back half of the season last year, something clicked with putting. I don't know if it was a little bit of nose angle change or confidence or what, but my putting make percentages more than doubled than it was anywhere close to that before in tournaments. So I'm going to keep working on that, probably more from Circle 2, but I'm feeling pretty good about Circle 1 putts right now. But yeah, forehand and putting, same thing.
I was going to say, after this last weekend at Silly Putty, I would say I'm not too worried about your Circle 1 putting percentage, Chris, but maybe it's the Circle 2 stuff that needs a little bit. But Lord, some of those stations, you were dialed.
Oh yeah, thank you. That was such a fun event. Yeah, hats off to the crew that put that together. That was
T3.
Yeah, that was awesome. We missed the sign up last year, and we were kicking ourselves because we heard about how much everyone had fun at the event. So we made sure to set an alarm on our phone so that this year, if it was going to fill up, we were going to be the first ones on the list. So yeah, it was a great night.
When you mentioned GTA Cup, I'm unfortunately missing this Saturday at Bronte because I'll be in Guelph playing the Ice Bowl. But
oh, fun! That was my very first tournament ever. It was the Ice Bowl, and I've only been playing for 2 months since I first held a disc, and I really didn't know. I still didn't know anything about what I was doing. And I remember I was on a card with probably the best people I could ever be on a card with for the first time. It was Jane Renton and Lisa Eshley. And both of them, I remember being behind a bush, and I'm what do I do from here? I don't know what to do. And Lisa put me in the exact position of how to reach out and do a chip forehand, just trying to help me out as much as I could. It was a fun tournament.
Yeah, that was a big breakthrough day for our disc golf journey, because previous to that, I'd been spending months dragging her out to courses because when I first started playing, I got like the big addiction to it. So I went like something like 48 days in a row, and like multiple rounds just all over the city. And I would drag her out, and she'd never want to finish the round. But then over time, she picked it up and started liking it a little more. And we signed up for the Guelph Ice Bowl, and it was like a freezing cold, windy day. So I'm like, oh, here we go. If this doesn't go well, we're never playing again. But she ended up killing it, came second place.
Yeah.
And since then, she got the competitive urge to keep playing and didn't look back. So
yeah, it did take me a while.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was supposed to be my first event was the Ice Bowl the year I started, but it was also the second or the first full winter of COVID, which was like January 2021. And they had to push it back because I guess the city wouldn't let them have all the people show up at the course at the same time.
Okay.
So it got pushed back to like end of March type thing, and I ended up doing some tournaments out in the Brantford area.
Right.
Back when, oh God, what's the store out there now?
True North, right?
True North, yeah. When True North was running a winter series at a couple of golf courses out there.
Oh, sweet.
Which are unfortunately no longer in use for disc golf. But yeah, Guelph's a great town for disc golf, like great city for disc golf. You've got some really nice courses. I know you guys both played the Diameter Open last year at Eastview and Vic Valley.
Yeah. Those are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get to enjoy most of Eastview on Saturday. You know, they cut out a couple of holes just because the walk and the slope issue on a couple of those. I think they want to avoid just in case.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think the other course we played when I played the Ice Bowl was the Arboretum. That's the only time I've played it. And I got ripped apart by that course. I was like first started playing like OB everywhere. It just came like dead last in MA1. It was terrible.
It's a really nice course. I think I played that year at the Arboretum as well because I wanted to try something different than the Riverview Park course, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's so tight. And I think like 10 holes in, this blizzard just blew through for about 15 minutes. So it was interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then I just had my ice bowl here, and it was like 12 degrees outside, or it felt like it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, mud bowl, I guess, but we tried.
For sure. And you can't ask for better weather other than now the snow's back, but for the last little bit, Scarlet was just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
At least for winter, right? It wasn't that wet, no snow. So
yeah, I mean the only thing with this weekend, it's supposed to be a little chilly.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw it was supposed to go to like -12 or something.
Oof.
Gotta bring the hand heaters, the hand warmers.
Exactly. You just dress for it. If it's not windy, -12 is nothing to
it's
us in Canada.
No problem.
It's
brisk. So that's too bad you're gonna miss the GTA Cup, but that'll be a fun event. Yeah, we love the GTA Cup. Well, unfortunately, we can only play half the day on Saturday because we have a wedding to go to. But still happy to get out onto Bronte a little bit.
So you're gonna get all your points in the morning and then run away before you have to deal with what is it, alternate shot and singles?
Yes, the hard ones.
Yeah.
That's it. Take your points and run. Before I let you guys go, I want to kind of go through my little rapid fire round here. Try not to think about this too much, but I know I've given some other people a lot of room when it came to these questions.
Yeah, for sure.
Favorite disc in your bag?
Grace.
For me, it's a Metal Flake Destroyer.
Favorite person to play with that isn't on the camera screen next to you?
Ooh.
Alicia Hums.
I like playing with Mike Itchenko out in Peterborough.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick. Mm-hmm.
Favorite course that you've played so far?
I really like Beaver Ranch in Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
It's apparently Eagle McMahon's favorite course out there. We've played it twice. We took a road trip from Toronto to California and back. We had to go pick up some stuff that Alex had in a storage shed in LA.
Yeah.
So we drove all the way to California and played disc golf courses all the way there and back. And we stopped in Colorado and played. We just looked on UDisc, and there's this high rated course up in the mountains, and it was insane. There's like right up in the mountains, shooting down over the valleys, like all through the woods.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my favorite.
The elevation will get you, but it's pretty awesome.
You almost need a whole different bag to play there, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
Bucket list course that you've seen, heard about, somewhere you want to go? For me, Maple Hill, just because you can make a real, event weekend out of it, because you can play all the different layouts and they all have something to offer, at least from what I've seen.
I'll go with the unconventional answer. There's a course we saw on UDisc when we were in Utah. We were looking at the map, and you had to it's like off-roading to get there, and we couldn't go because our car wouldn't be able to handle the off-roading. But it's this insane drive through the Red Rock. Then you get to this private property, and he has this disc golf course, and it looks like you're on Mars.
Yeah, it literally looks like you're on another planet.
On the Red Rock and like in a canyon. So that's next time we go, we're renting ATVs and we're going.
I actually think the game Disc Golf Valley on the phone has one of the courses is based off of that. Yeah.
There might be, if it's the one I'm thinking of, that would be a really interesting course to play.
Yeah, you can see it on UDisc. The pictures are just wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's out near Moab, Utah. Yeah.
But it also kind of sounds, when you talk about off-roading, I don't know if you follow Holland Hanley, but she was building a course this off-season on her partner's family's land.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, so you can't find the farm on the map, and even if you could find the farm, it's like in the back corner from where you get on the road.
That's great.
But it's hers, and she'll invite whoever else. But like, it looked like a great course when she played through.
That'd be ideal. Have your own course.
Mm-hmm.
If only land was cheaper in Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of the things that keeps me up at night. I grew up on like a 100-acre kind of farm, and we moved. My parents moved like 5 years ago. And then now that we're into disc golf, I'm thinking like,
could have had a great course.
Could have had such a cool project, but now they don't have any land. So what could have been?
Last question, a dream foursome for each of you.
A dream what?
Dream foursome. Any 3 other people you'd like to play around with?
Foursome.
I'd like to play with Calvin Heimberg, just because I think like he's my favorite player. And right when we started playing, we were actually down in Florida for a beach volleyball tournament, and we, in between days where we had matches, we thought, let's go play some disc golf. So we went, sorry to sidetrack, but we went to, Cliff Stevens Park out in Tampa area, and we went to the disc golf store beforehand, and I bought a Calvin Halo Destroyer, and the guy's like, "Oh, you like Calvin? He's on the course next door right now." So Sergey and I were played hole 1, and then Sergey actually threw his disc into one of the ponds. And on hole 2, Calvin and his whole crew was standing there. So we went up to them. We're like, "Hey guys, like, our disc is in there. We can see it, but like, we're not sure how, gators or anything are circulating these waters." And Calvin's like, "Oh, if you can see it, I'll go get it for you." And he took his shoes off, went right into the pond, and got Sergey's disc where there were signs saying like, "Oh, gators here." So right away, he's my favorite player by default after that. Him, I'd like to play with Ricky, Isaac Robinson, just to see that like finesse backhand, and hopefully get to play with him at the Diameter Open this year, because I know him and Gannon and those guys are coming. So at least get to watch them. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And for my 4th, honestly, it'd be cool to play with Brody Smith, because I remember I used to watch a lot of YouTube as a kid, and I remember seeing all his trick shot videos, and just to be able to be on a card with someone I watched growing up would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I'd say Kristen. I mean, that's a pretty obvious answer, but she, just because of her mental toughness, and I think she was an athlete prior to disc golf. I don't know what she did, but I'd love to talk to her about it, because I mean, obviously she's carrying it.
Might have been cross country skiing. which would make sense in that area of the world.
Term focus, which makes sense. So I need to learn some of that from her. And then maybe Owen Scoggins. I think seems like a really fun person to play with and very lighthearted, and also, I mean, obviously very skilled. And who else? Maybe Ella Hansen. I kind of want to compare my distance with the top throwers on tour, because I know I'm nowhere close, but I'd love to see how much really is the gap. And then I don't know.
Yeah.
No one's really figured it out.
She might even give you tips.
Yeah.
On improving distance if you want.
Maybe just one of the other greats, like Missy or someone else I could learn from. I mean, anyone I play with, even in Ontario, all the women I play with, I always pick up something from them, just because I'm still consider myself fairly new to the sport, and I'm still learning a lot of the skills related and what discs to throw when. I'm still learning that all the time. So honestly, anyone who's mastered the game, I would love to play with them.
Well, that sounds great. And thank you both for your time this evening. And yeah, look, good luck, but not too good luck at GTA Cup. We are technically on opposing teams.
Yeah.
Team Edge is the reigning champ. So
they are
coming off a hot win.
Yeah,
they are, but you never know. Bronte has a history of coming from behind.
That's true. But yeah, I don't know. We got a young squad that's only getting better. It could be set up for a dynasty. That's what we're planning for.
Well, good luck, and we'll see you on the course.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.